Hello, and welcome to Sutro Sidetalk, episode 193. I'm your host, Kamran Shushtar, and with me is...
James Seelig.
We are here with a very heavy weekend. There is plenty to talk about, so much so that we're going to be doing multiple episodes this week. So just to, I guess, to get through everything, first off, this is Sutro Sidetalk. We talk what we watch and play, with select news, usually not often until right now, which is early summer. Usually early summer is the crazy gaming news month of June for the most part. And then
Even with E3 dead, everyone's just like, yo, I got something to say now. Even Capcom was just last minute.
Yeah, now
like,
everyone
oh, by the way,
wants
we got
to...
something next week too.
Yeah, so now everyone's sharing stuff. Earlier in May, late May, we had the PlayStation Showcase, which we talked about. That was, I believe, our last episode that we did. We talked about it a little bit late just because I wasn't in state.
Right. That's why.
Quite literally, I was out of the state, so I couldn't really do anything on it. But we talked about that as well as kind of everything going on with all the streaming services. So you guys could catch that. That's episode 192.
Yeah, my mini rant on how much I hate Max.
Yeah, so all that's there. This week, though, we have episode 193, which we're currently talking on right now. And this should go out on Monday. We're recording everything on Sunday. We're doing both episodes on Sunday. This will either go on a Monday at the soonest or at the latest Tuesday, but I think I should be able to get it out for tomorrow. We're talking Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Showcase. Technically, also Starfield Direct, because they're
they talked about it for like almost an hour. So
yeah. There were plenty of other showcases that if you guys want to go check them out, you can, but we don't have time for that anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't find the time to watch the Future Game Show or the Cozy Game Show, I think was one of the ones.
It was Wholesome Direct,
Wholesome Game Show,
Guerrilla Collective, and Future Game Show, which last year I tried to watch them, and I'm going to be honest, I should not have watched at least the Guerrilla Collective and Wholesome Direct, just because, no offense to them at all, but their games weren't for me. So I basically wasted hours just watching it, and I was like, why did I do that?
Like, they're well put together shows. It's just, like you said, they're not for us.
Yeah.
So,
like we both love indies, but at the same time, we both prioritize AAA games. We're just those kind of people. And in that case too, like the indies that I do want to play are ones that have been out for a while that I still haven't gotten to. So I guess adding new ones on doesn't really help my case at this point anyway. Especially digging through 2 hours of video to find maybe one or two games I might like. So it's not really worth the trouble for us. But yeah, those three showcases. Future Game Show is usually a mix of mainly PC stuff for the most part. And then next week is Capcom, Ubisoft, the PC Game Show, and maybe Netflix to them. There might be others. I think there's like a Tribeca showcase somewhere, but see, it's just too much. And we're just, selecting the really, really big ones that give us like the news that we actually go like, oh my God, they actually did that, or they actually showed this, and oh, I'm for sure buying this like this year. No questions asked kind of thing.
Or in Xbox's case, mostly next year.
Or one day.
Yeah.
I recorded every release date, and I will say we'll go through them, but a lot of them were just straight up just like, hey, when's this coming out?
No, I did straight up laugh when Clockwork Revolution popped up and the date was like coming in due time, and like, okay, that's kind of
so
funny.
Not soon. Okay, that means at least 2 years. Okay, thank you so much for that, guys, for creatively saying the same thing as the others. But okay, yeah. So Summer Game Fest today, Xbox Showcase, and then right after this episode, or sometime today afterwards, we're gonna record episode 194 and release it this coming Friday. So you're getting 2 episodes this week, just because usually every year we fall behind a bit with all the gaming news and everything else. It's hard to do that, plus still do the main thing of all the movies coming out, all the shows that are wrapping up, and maybe the games we might have finished around this time. So plus the fact that we missed a week while I was gone in Atlanta, figured we'd make it up and try to keep up. And so 194 is going to be Transformers: Rise of the Beasts and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So we'll get those two movies knocked out. So it'll be nice to have have them come out on time instead of like way late when it's
Yeah.
too late. Considering like I still got Fast X and Suzumi in the back burner of like, oh, I saw these. When are we going to talk about them? I don't know. Hopefully we will. I don't really
Yeah.
know. It's hard to say. So it's like that kind of situation right now. Otherwise, like I said, that's going to come out on Friday, and then we'll have another episode focused on the Capcom and Ubisoft showcases next week. That'll be recorded this coming weekend, or basically the following weekend after these episodes come out. That'll be episode 195. Yeah, 195. And maybe if we get the chance to, the Cut of Steel episode will return, and we will prioritize talking about the Flash movie. And if we can get that done, then we'll start churning out the other Cut of Steel episodes that I want to get done, which will probably be like 4 more at the very least. So in the span of basically like this year, if not less than that amount of like, I'm hoping to get it all about by the end of 2023, but I'm thinking like more realistically, I think like hopefully it would be like early fall. We'd have all these episodes out for sure, but we'll see what happens. With that said, what's the news today, James? Oh, the whole episode.
Yeah.
So we'll get right into it just because there's a lot to knock out. We're gonna go release by release. So everything announced at the Summer Game Fest, everything announced at the Xbox Showcase, will go name by name. If we're not interested in that game, we'll skip over it. And then at the end of each kind of like showcase, we'll kind of talk about how we thought of that showcase. But with that said, let's jump right into it, James. And first off was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which comes out January 18th of 2024 on all platforms, which includes the Switch, which is why it might look like that. And
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It looks like back to the side scroller
yeah,
nature of the original like game. Like it's a little bit interesting that it seems like you're not the prince in this. You're trying to find the
you're an
prince
immortal.
who's gone missing.
Yeah,
So
and
that's kind of cool.
it's interesting to have an immortal just because immortals were like an infantry unit of sorts in the Persian military.
Do you think that was the reference they were going for?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. I see no other
Because I thought they were literally
alternative.
like supernatural beings or whatever.
In Persian history.
No. The in the game, like you seem to have like some abilities or whatever, but
Well,
I
yeah,
could be
you
wrong.
do, but I mean, like, I think historically speaking, you're supposed to be an immortal,
Okay, I didn't even
and
think of
then you
that.
have powers because they do
Hmm.
mention that. I picked up on it just because I'm like, oh, history, yeah, it's also Persian, so of course I'm like,
Yeah.
I see that, I get that. Um, it does look really cool. It's funny we're getting this, and like the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake is just kind of like we're somewhere being
Yeah.
remade again because they were making it and then they
Lost to
scrapped it
time.
and then they're remaking the remake, so it's like a whole issue. I do like the look of this just because we're not looking at a game kind of sequeling the Sins of Time trilogy or any of that. It's sequeling the original pre-Sins of Time games that were, yeah, just side scroller, kind
Yeah.
of like retro style. Well, they were retro because they were games of that time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like the first Prince of Persia was like pretty old
yeah.
at this point.
So it's interesting. I thought it was really cool. I thought that was a cool way to kick it off because no one was expecting that. It's like Ubisoft, single player is dead, massive, insane games that are multiplayer oriented forever and only. And it's just like, please, I would like to breathe. And the remakes were the only things we were going to get. Potentially, they're single player. So it's very surprising to get this as well. And more than welcome, like I said. I'm happy to get some Prince of Persia. Meanwhile, Splinter Cell fans are still
Yeah.
writhing and foaming at the mouth.
Oh
Mortal
yeah, we didn't
Kombat.
even see. Well, I guess maybe the Ubisoft
Oh,
forward we
the
might
Splinter
see.
Cell
Yeah,
remake, or
yeah,
like
maybe we'll see.
maybe. Mortal Kombat 1, which comes out September 19th, 2023. We got to see a lot from that. That was kind of like that was like their main thing.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
The
I really like the idea of like the cameo moves. Like The way Ed Boon described it is like you get to kind of combine characters and take a few moves from one character and use them while playing as another character. That could make for some really interesting combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like the idea of, the cameos, kind of going around like, oh, here's characters you can't play as, but also here's characters you might not be able to play as like primarily as well, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of the helper characters in Smash Bros, I guess. That kind of
Yeah.
idea.
The assist
Um,
trophies. Yeah. A
yeah, that
little
those
bit.
ones. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. The fact that this is a full-on reboot, uh, but a canon reboot. Like it's straight up like
Yeah.
the way 11 ends is we've rebooted the timeline, and this is so it's technically 12, but it's rebooted as one. So it works either way, and I do like the that it could kind of go either way like
Yeah.
that.
Very clever.
And they pretty much like are changing everything. It's like the new friendships, like people that were always enemies are now allies, like Sub-Zero and Scorpion are still like tight, which I'm happy
Yeah.
about because if you play like 10 and 11, their beef is gone. Like they work
That's like
together.
one of the coolest developments in the entire series.
Yeah, because usually, they always hate each other, they fight each other, they kill each other. And I'm like, wow, them as friends actually is even I prefer this, I'm gonna be honest. So I thought that was really cool. I think Kano might be good now, which is also interesting. I could be wrong. I don't really know for sure because it looked like he was like in a training outfit, like the Shaolin kind of temple stuff, but like
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. And it's like old Kano, like he doesn't have any like facial hair or anything else. It's like the giant like circle on the face type thing. So no crazy tech or anything else. You got classic Sonya. They redid the outfits for Katana and
Milana.
Melina.
Melina.
And you're gonna say, I thought you're gonna say Melania. I was like, oh, dude, not the
No, like I
different.
knew it was something like that.
Yeah, from Shao Trump.
Oh god.
Melania, get them. Uh, but I do look forward to also the fact that Raiden is just
That was really interesting to me when he
human.
was like, Raiden, you need to like learn more, whatever he said. And I was like, wait a minute. Pre-God Raiden?
Yeah,
That's
and
interesting.
then Fire God Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean the characters I'm looking forward to, just like always, is Sub-Zero and Kung Lao. Those are always the ones I like. I'm very curious who the villain is going to be. If Shang Tsung is a DLC character.
Yeah, I thought I assumed at first it was Shang Tsung because I don't know, he showed up at one point in the first trailer, but yeah, maybe that was just like an ad for the DLC. I don't know.
I think it was just the DLC, but I,
Hmm.
I I don't know unless he is the antagonist, and it's just that you can't play him until the DLC's out.
They have done that before where like
Yeah,
Shao Kahn was like a DLC
for
pre-order
9.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, that I think it probably will be Shang Tsung then, because there's been no mention of Shao Kahn. Uh, so Mortal Kombat 1 was really cool. If I don't have Street Fighter 6 by the time Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, then I probably might just wait till it's like much more affordable and just go straight
Yeah.
for Mortal Kombat. Just because that's
If
my
you wait a
priority fighting
year
game.
for Street Fighter, they'll
They might do
probably be
like that
like,
collection.
yeah, like there's always like a Street Fighter Ultra or something like that where
Yeah,
they bundle in the new characters that came out
and
over the
all the
last year or
skins and
whatever.
stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. Next up, Path of Exile 2 comes out July 28th of
Looks
this
cool.
year.
I didn't play the first one, so I'm
Yeah,
not super rushing out to play this one either.
I I'm not personally interested in it. The Exoprimal Street Fighter 6 collaboration.
That was really weird
That was
because it was
very
like
strange. Robotic
Robo, yeah, it was like Robo Ryu
and then
and Robo
Guile,
Guile versus like
the dinosaurs.
dinosaurs and stuff. It's super weird.
It
Interesting, but weird.
yeah, very much so. I thought it was interesting though. They say Capcom Collab 1
Yeah.
fall 23. So we can expect more. Who knows with what?
Will we finally get Tekken Cross Street Fighter?
Maybe.
I doubt
I
it.
don't.
I
I
think
mean, they're
that's
making
dead.
Tekken 8 right now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
they didn't say it wasn't like they didn't cancel it. So it's like what is happening? And for those who don't know, if they never played Street Fighter Cross Tekken, the whole idea was Street Fighter Cross Tekken is a more or less a Street Fighter game with the Tekken characters incorporated into it, whereas Tekken Cross Street Fighter was supposed to be a Tekken style game with the Street Fighter characters integrated into it. Like it's basically you could play the styles of that kind of thing, like with the controls and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which was kind of it was a really cool idea because you're like, oh, there's two versions, and you can get like it's almost like the fighting game version of Pokemon Red and Blue.
Except it's like which fighting game style do you prefer, I
Yeah.
guess.
And Street Fighter came out because Capcom was on their shit, and then Tekken just kind of like you're like Namco Bandai, what's going on? And they're just like,
We're working on it, we
we're
swear.
working on it. It's just like a Final Fantasy 13 versus. They were like around the same time. You're like, what's going on? And then 13 versus turned into 15, so we saw how that turned out. Then Dead by Daylight, Nick Cage. I just thought it
That
was
was
funny
so
to see
funny.
Nick Cage on the
Dude,
stage.
I love that he actually came out on stage. I was literally just like, oh holy shit, Nick Cage is actually there.
I'm finally in games. Like that was so funny. But I'm not a Dead by Daylight person, but it was just cool to see him there.
Same. The funny thing is, this does actually kind of make me want to play it.
I still don't. I'm gonna be honest.
I've heard like nothing but good things about it.
It looks
It's
interesting,
crazy.
but I'm more inclined now to play Friday the 13th because it's gonna be going offline eventually.
I thought it already was.
No, you could still play it. So I'm like, oh, I want to actually not like I just want to like play it for like a week just to enjoy it, and then finally play Predator also because I should be playing that too. The Witcher season 3 got a trailer. It comes out at the end of this month, June 29th.
Yes. Oh right, I forgot about that.
No, season 3 of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was like super confused because I literally do not remember the part of the show.
Yeah, they had all the cast being like, "Hey, Summer Game Fest, we're here to tell you about the show for a second."
Man, I blanked out hard, I guess.
Yeah, man, it's the series finale of the Witcher show. Because after Henry Cavill leaves, no one's gonna watch it anymore because no one's gonna watch Liam Hemsworth as the fucking Witcher.
Yeah.
So there's all that. I'm sure we're gonna have many complaints about the show when it comes out. Nothing about the actors, but just hey guys,
Netflix, how could you do this to me?
Why didn't you listen to Henry, guys? You could have kept him. You just could have listened. I feel like the writers for this show is like the one thing for the writers' strike where it's like, everyone deserves more, but it's like the Witcher writers, maybe they deserve cut their pay, just them, because
that's part of the negotiations.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, everyone gets more except them.
Not you. Everyone's just let into the club. Not you. Then Sonic Superstars, which comes out fall 23.
Yeah, it's cool.
You're a Sonic guy. I'm not. So,
I mean, barely. I've played.
You were a GameCube Sonic guy, if I recall.
Well, I just specifically Sonic Adventure Battle 2 was one of the best like GameCube games I ever played.
Hey man, you want to come over to my house and see my Chow Garden? I'm like,
dude,
oh yeah, dude.
That's the weirdest thing. I lost so many hours to that Chow Garden, just like trying to upgrade specific Chows. And like, I don't know why that got me so hard.
I don't know either. Honkai Star Rail, fall 2023 on the PS5.
Yeah,
not for
I don't
me.
know. No, yeah. not really.
Lies of P. I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought this already came out. This is that Pinocchio game.
I'm very intrigued.
September 19th and has a demo out now that you can try out.
I should try it.
I should also try it because it seems interesting. It's also a game I haven't considered whatsoever to buy. Just because it was like a game where I kind of looked at it and went, "Oh, it looks cool," and then kept walking. But I guess if I play the demo, maybe it'll do something for me.
Like I'm hoping,
at least squash it out of my mind, one or the other.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying it's like like basically another Bloodborne, but or at least in that style of setting and stuff like that. But also like the Soulsborne gameplay. So yeah, I'll try out the demo, see if I like it.
Yeah, I should make sure I play this before anything else because I always do that where I'm like, oh, I'll play the beta or demo, but I still focus on the stuff I already got. And then I'm like, oh, time to play the beta. It's like, dude, that ended like a week ago. Where the fuck were you? And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. Betas are temporary. Damn it. And then Sandland. This was interesting. It's from the creator of Dragon Ball. Uh, that little
Right.
blue boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's based on. Was it an anime or just a manga?
Oh. For whatever reason, I didn't realize it was like based on something. I thought it was just like this like artist has started to make like a new game, but I don't know.
That's yeah, it's a manga. Um,
All right.
from I don't know what
Akira
year.
Toriyama.
Yeah, but I mean like 2000. Yeah, it was like a early 2000
Oh
manga.
wow.
Yeah. So you know, I'm never one for the anime games, if I'm gonna be honest. Like they always seem interesting, but I just can't get into them personally, or I've never tried to get into them, if I'm gonna be more honest. Next up, Throne and Liberty. Uh, this was from NC Soft and Amazon Games.
Yeah,
It's a
it
new
didn't really grab
MMO.
me.
Yeah, and I don't need another MMO. I'm good. But
No.
there's a tech test sign up, I guess, for it.
Wait, it
Uh,
was an MMO? I thought it was just an RPG. So now they
uh,
have they now have another world and this.
yes,
Ugh, okay, I don't know
and they're
why
working on the Lord of the
Amazon.
Rings MMO as well.
What is
So
what is Amazon thinking?
I'm not too sure.
Eh,
They are thinking that what if we had multiple MMOs at the same time? I'm sure they're not going to compete with each other, right? Uh, so there's there's that. Then we had Alan Wake 2, which comes out October 17th this year.
Yeah, good
And
timing for it. I mean, if it's a spooky game,
it's digital only. It's
that's
the
the most interesting thing.
people are
That
starting
like,
to basically say this is the start. This is when now you're going to see less and less physical games starting
yeah,
here.
I could see that. I just wish I was more into Alan Wake. I didn't like the first one as much as everyone else did. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it that much. So I can't really get that excited over the second one other than like it looks cool. Like I mean,
Mhm.
it looks creepy. At least they're nailing the tone they're going for. I just wasn't a huge fan of the story of the first one.
Okay. I still have to. I think I might have said it. Was this at the PlayStation Showcase too?
It was.
Okay, that's why I was like, I
Yeah.
just talked about. So you guys already know. I said I wanted to play Alan Wake 1, Quantum Break, and the other game, and then this one in that order if I can, just because I still want to play those. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 comes out this winter. Uh, it looks cool. I need to get back to. I barely started Vermintide 2, so I wanted to try
Yeah.
that out because there's like all these different genres of Warhammer game now. There's like the Space Marine ones, which are shooters. There's the like Vermintide and I guess Darktide, which is like kind of Left 4 Dead-ish,
They just released Bolt Gun, which is like a Doom-esque shooter.
really. And
Yeah.
then there's Total War Warhammer, which is an RTS, I believe, or
Mm.
like a strategy. It could be both because it's like more strategies, not necessarily like the little figures going around. It's like maybe turn based and stuff. I never really played a Total War game, if I'm to be honest, but I'm pretty sure it's an RTS.
Yeah.
So
The Total War ones are RTSs.
yeah,
I don't think they do. I don't know if they have a 40K version,
they
but
do.
okay.
Yeah, I just never wanted to. I never wanted to get into the Warhammer universe. It's just one
Oh,
universe. I don't need another universe, especially
that's
one
fair.
that expansive.
I recently got kind of sucked into it, and I've been watching like YouTube videos of people playing like full games of Warhammer, and dude, it's so complicated, but like
Yeah,
there's something really interesting about that, like really just terribly depressing universe where it's just death and war everywhere forever in the future, because
isn't it
that's
great?
just how it is.
But on a galactic level, uh,
Yeah.
I want to check this one out, but I don't know if I want to play the first Space Marine
I
game.
remember way back on the PS3, they gave the Space Marine 1 away for free. And I played like the first chapter of it and I was like, this is actually really, really cool. And I
Wait,
never
was it
finished it.
PS3 or PS4?
It was what I could have sworn it was PS3,
Oh, if it's
but
PS3, I'm gonna skip that and just wait for this one.
like I want to see if I could get it on PC because I'd be shocked if it's not on Steam or something like that. Because like
Okay.
I liked it. Like the tone of the game is super cool. Like the whole idea of the Space Marines is just like they are like they would destroy Master Chief essentially. Like their level of armor and training and just like genetic augmentation and
I've
shit.
seen
Like,
how bulky their shit. Yeah,
dude,
their
they're
stuff's
essentially like
incredibly bulky.
walking tanks,
Yeah.
but like
Okay.
super tanks. So
Uh,
just like super badass, and I'm glad that it's actually they're gonna make a Space Marine too.
yeah. Next up, Yes Your Grace, which was that pixely looking game. Um, that it looks like there's like intrigue and combat and everything else. It also comes out winter.
I remember
Uh,
the name. I don't remember what it looked like.
it was very pixely.
Uh,
It wasn't for me also. Um,
yeah, I think this is one of the ones that I was like, okay.
yeah. The next one though, probably my game of the show, of this show specifically, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
Yeah,
It looks like a Left 4 Dead type game. Yeah, it comes out next year. And I say this because like I'm desperate for a Left 4 Dead game that's not like Left 4 Dead 2 because because of how old Left 4 Dead 2 is at this
yeah.
point. Um,
And
Back for
Back
Blood
for Blood was just like
did
kind of
not do it.
okay.
I think also it's a cool 4-player co-op game, and considering like Redfall is dead on launch,
Yeah.
and also like I need to get back to Alien Fireteam. I had a couple people I was playing that with if it's still on Game Pass.
It's
I
also just
was
interesting that they got John Carpenter attached to this one.
exactly that's why I'm so pumped for it. I'm like, okay, this could be really cool, and if the mechanics work really well, and I hope they don't have the fucking card system in it. Like,
Uh,
just keep it simple, make it cool. If you want to throw in interesting lore and Carpenter type stuff, like they already got like the '80s film like grit to it, like the type of the you saw the way
one of the
they
DLC characters is Snake Plissken.
yeah. Oh my god, that'd be funny. But like you could tell the way the it's supposed to look. The songs that they're already using for it is very 80s, so it's just like, okay, this is going to be fun. I think as long as it's not just like a game that looks really cool and then you get it and it's also just like, no, this was like I don't know what you guys were thinking. This was going to be good for some reason. Then I'll cry
Yeah.
a little bit because I don't want to cry for something with John Carpenter's name on it. It
Yeah,
should
that'd be so
automatically be
sad.
good. Yeah. I mean, the guy plays a lot of Destiny, so I feel like he knows how good gunplay should be and everything else. I mean, I don't. He's not obviously physically making the game. He probably wrote stuff for it and everything else,
Yeah.
and gave his creative input. But if he got to like try it out, maybe, and he was like, "Oh God, like fix this," who knows? Baldur's Gate 3, which comes out August 31st.
I still can't believe it's not out because they were advertising that a while ago.
I know, right? But I've never been a Baldur's Gate guy either for that
No.
reason. Yeah, so
I got like the remastered version of the first one because someone I know really recommended it, but I haven't gotten around to trying it yet.
I'm still just waiting on what was it, Dragon Age for to Venture, whatever the fuck it's called. Um, Next up, Spider-Man 2. So we already talked about this at the PlayStation Showcase for the gameplay and everything else, but we got the October 20th release date. So I got a lot of games to play before this. I gotta get shit done. I gotta stop
Yeah.
playing Hunt Showdown. We got to see the box art. We got to see concept art, which had Venom there. And then they're like, "Oh, who's Venom?" And it's like, "It's not Eddie Brock." And everyone's like, "Oh!" But also, people were like, "Just like Jason Todd wasn't the Arkham Knight, and then he was the Arkham Knight." So
No, I mean if you played the first game, you should have a pretty good idea of where they're going with
exactly,
this.
everyone like what killed me when they say it's not Eddie Brock, and you hear in the crowd, "Oh!" And it's like, yo, the crowd did not play the first game apparently because they didn't. They were fucking shocked for some reason. I don't understand why.
Well, it reminds me like when Horizon Burning Shores came out, and like around then, one of the game devs basically confirmed that Horizon 3 is on the way, and it's like Horizon 3 confirmed. They're gonna do a third one. It's like, did you not finish the first game?
Or the
I mean
second
the
game?
second game? Because like
Yeah,
they pretty much straight up say like something's coming. We gotta deal with it later in the future.
that means James, we're dealing with phonies that just do content creation for
Uh
clout, I guess, or something like that, or money and that kind of thing. I like money. Money sounds good. I do that. I'd sell out. Uh, no problem. Uh, the collector's edition was also shown. Not
I
here,
want
but we
it
got
so
to see
bad.
it. I'm probably not going to get it. You probably are going to get it just because
I
I
keep
have to
saying
really
I
think
don't.
about it and go, do I need this? Do I have room? I don't have room. Also, do I love Spider-Man? I do, but would I rather get a Batman statue for me personally? Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's the
love
thing.
Venom.
Like, I
So
do not have the space for a 19-inch statue, but it's got Venom fucking up two Spider-Man. So I maybe need it.
yeah. So I mean, if anything, you could go through and start culling your stuff, man.
Yeah, no,
Do you care
I
about your
it's
Hellgas helmet?
dude, it's been a while. I need to like clean
I
out
kept
my
mine.
room.
I mean, I love my Hellgas helmet, but I don't know if you love your Hellgas helmet.
I still do. Like, I'm just
Okay.
in this vicious cycle of every week being like too tired at the end of the week to like plan doing chores and shit. So I just keep putting shit off and
Mm,
forever.
yeah.
I'll get to it
Uh,
eventually.
okay. Yeah, but obviously, guys, it's like Harry Osborn is going to start off as Venom probably, and then maybe Craven might get the symbiote at the end, and we'll get like Venom Craven or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, then we've got, and then the post credits will have Carnage because we're probably going to get Red Goblin in the third one.
that'd be so
Pal World.
interesting.
It seems so, yeah. Pal World. Pokemon with Guns
Yeah,
is
that was
coming
weird.
early access in January of 2024. I always get excited when I see this trailer. I mean, like this game, just the idea of these cute looking Pokemon are just plain faced, and it's like, oh, fire the missiles, and I'm like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
just want to see. I was hoping during that whole thing because you see like Pokemon with assault rifles, you're a trainer with an assault rifle. I wanted to see like one of the really small Pokemon just fucking pull out a pistol and just start blasting like Danny DeVito. Like I would
So I
have
just started blasting.
exactly. I thought if they had done that, that would have made a trailer the perfect trailer. But you know, can't get everything right. But either way, it looks really fun. Pal World is definitely. If you guys haven't checked out the trailers for that, just watch it at least to get your like. It's a good laugh to just see what the hell is going on. And then James, I know how much you wanted the Lord of the Rings Gollum game. I know it's something you've craved forever.
Dude, strangely, I'm actually really interested in this one.
The Gollum game, or what I'm about to say?
No, what you're about to say.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No,
oh shit,
Gollum
he's
could go
broken.
go
Someone
fucking
fucked him up.
die.
Yeah, so that it's already failure to launch. I don't know who the fuck bought that game.
Just
Return to
streamers doing
Moria
content.
though. I never this came out of left field. Return to Moria. It takes place, I guess, after either it's the books or the movies, but either way, it takes place after the original trilogy. I'm guessing because they're saying Return to Moria. You
Yeah.
got Gimli talking over it, and it sounds like the dwarves are breaking back into Moria, trying to retake it from the goblins. So it sounds like a cool, just like dwarf goblin focused game.
Yeah, because like so it initially it reminded me of this other dwarf mining game that I played a little bit with Chris and like another friend, Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes, I have
And
friends that play that.
yeah, and like that's a really fun game where it's like you're space dwarves mining asteroids for materials because dwarves, even in the far future, are good at mining and shit. So just the idea of essentially that, but you're actually in Middle Earth playing like Middle Earth dwarves, and you're retaking Moria.
Yeah,
I'm like actually really interested in this. Like I never even thought about it. That's super cool.
I honestly, it says fall 23. I think November is the perfect time for that because Lord of the Rings is such a November trilogy because you're like, oh, hobbits love eating. There's all this
Yeah.
stuff, and Thanksgiving time. Like, I forget who first mentioned it, but it's like Thanksgiving, Lord of the Rings, really perfection. Because also it feels like a fall. It's like an autumn movie
Well,
era.
especially you get to Rivendell and there's just like leaves blowing around all over the place.
Yeah, it just feels so good. But I think more Return to Moria would be perfect for November, especially just keep it as far as away from Spider-Man 2 as possible. Also,
Yeah.
that's also the reason why. Uh, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, the mobile game that has entered pre-registration and has 3 or 4 animation styles. If you noticed,
Yeah, I was very confused by this.
there's
I
the
was like,
like
wow, what is
there's like the
this?
Funko Pop looking movements of the characters. In the combat, it looks like actually like insanely good. And then when they're talking, it's like drawing versions of them or like little drawing animations. And I'm like, what? And then there's like cinematics too. And I'm like, how many different animation styles is in this mobile game? I don't understand it. Like, holy shit. I'm still not like into Final Fantasy, so it's not for me. But would you want this mobile
Yeah,
game?
I'd give it a shot.
Okay. Are you gonna do the pre-registration then?
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. So you're like playing that dude that banishes ghost with his ghost partner wife.
Yeah, like it. Maybe I was looking too into it, but it looks like there was the main choice is like, do you banish the dead that you see, and then you could use that energy to
For her.
make your wife alive for a little
I
while?
think that's the thing. It's like doing good means you might have to let go of her in the end.
Yeah. So
Or
you could either be selfish or greedy,
yeah,
or sorry,
which we
or
don't know. We're
selfless.
guessing here. It wasn't
Yeah.
really fully explanatory, but at the same time, you could kind of see like there's a karma system potentially to it.
Yeah. Looks
Uh,
interesting.
it does. I don't know if I'd get when does this came out? This comes out the end of the year, so you'd assume December of
Mm.
2023. But we'll see what exactly that means and how much it'll be. But if I did, I guess I'd get it on like PS5 or something if I really wanted it. But we'll see because I don't know how far I'll be on my games. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, coming out November 9th, 2023. So another like is this like a Like a Dragon expansion, I guess?
I assumed it was like another game in the series.
Okay, that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I got
So
confused because then there was another Like a Dragon at the Xbox showcase, which was completely
yeah,
different.
that one I think is a sequel to. Wait, yeah,
Aren't
that
they?
one.
They're
The
both
last
Like
one,
a Dragon, so it's
yeah, the
like they're
last one was just called Like a Dragon,
yeah.
which I played a bit of it. I like it. Like I keep wanting to play the Yakuza games, but again, like we keep
It's
saying,
a
there's not enough
franchise. It's a
time.
series I've never gotten
There's
into,
so
and
many
it's
of
it
them.
would be one I'd like to get into, but for now, it's still just a big no at the moment until
Yeah.
time would miraculously allow itself. Under the Waves comes September 29th, 2023. That was that Subnautical game. It looked like in
Yeah.
partnership with like Quantum a little bit, and I don't know. It looks interesting, but also I'll wait and see just because I
Yeah. I think that's like a narrative game. So it's gonna really depend on how good the story is.
I am always interested in like underwater deep sea stuff. So depending on kind of what more of the gameplay will look like, probably post release will determine whether or not I'm interested in it. For now, it really is a game where it's like, yeah, I won't know if I'm interested until after it's already out.
Yeah.
Then we've got Call of Duty Season 4. When was the last Call of Duty game you bought? Also, this comes out
But
June 14th.
because like the last one I played was World War II, and I got that on like PlayStation Plus for free.
Yeah.
Man,
Did you get Modern Warfare 1 or 2? The new ones?
I think you got me Modern Warfare 1 for Christmas one year.
Oh, and you never played it,
I
did you?
still haven't unwrapped it.
Oh my
It's
God. It
like
was on
it's
your
on my
wish
list.
list.
I know it's on my list of games to play because like you really liked it and said it was really
Yeah, it
good.
was really fucking like I stopped playing Call of Duty for an entire generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh Man, yeah, probably. Man, it might have been way back in like Infinite Warfare.
I skipped. Yeah,
It's been a
when I
while.
stopped playing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I occasionally play the multiplayer. Usually, like, if I'm playing with SF friends, I play on the regular, like, just Call of Duty multiplayer. If I'm playing with some friends that I went to school with from Savannah, we'll play Warzone or specifically, shit, what's it called?
Oh,
Crap.
the extraction mode.
Yeah, like the Tarkov mode.
Yeah,
Holy crap, how did I forget the name? But yeah, Warzone, if it's yeah, whatever it's called. I play that one with
yeah, you
them.
mentioned it before.
Yeah. You know what I haven't played? I haven't played I bought Modern Warfare. I got Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, and I have Modern Warfare 2. I never played the campaigns for Black Ops Cold War or Modern Warfare 2 still. So I should probably play them. I think I never wanted to play Black Ops Cold War campaign because it had fucking Ronald Reagan in it, and I was just like, I was disgusted by. I was like, I hate seeing this motherfucker so much. But okay, uh, I maybe I should try to just go back and play it. I mean, I did that for World War II and like play through that campaign really fast, but I should do that for both of those just to finally get them out of the way.
Yeah, the campaigns usually aren't that long.
Yeah, and in a world of Hunt Showdown and Destiny for me. That's why I like Call of Duty. Still, like if I wasn't playing those multiplayers, I'd be probably playing Call of Duty a lot more, most likely. Then we've got Fae Farm, which is like a what do they say? Stardew Valley Animal Crossing hybrid. I think it was like that little
Yeah, a
farming
little
looking
bit.
game. Comes out September 8th for Switch and PC. Definitely not for me. I mean, Animal Crossing was more than that for me.
Yeah, if I wanted to play something like that, I'd go back and finish Valley, which I never did.
Mm.
It's so weird that Stardew Valley is one of the few games that like is on my Tesla. Like there aren't that many games that they added to it. It's like Cuphead, Stardew Valley, and like a handful of other
I
games.
didn't know
It's
there
so
was more than
weird.
Cuphead, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, King Arthur Legends Rise. No, not for me.
No.
Then we've got the Twisted Metal clip, which shows
You can't,
Sweet.
if you're just listening to the podcast, you didn't hear me just like grimace. I did
Yeah,
not like that trailer. Ugh, it was bad.
one of the main complaints that I laughed really hard at was the sheer fact that there are no vehicles in the trailer, but also
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like Sweet Tooth. It's just like a clown man that looks like Sweet Tooth,
Well, it's
from what
just
I've
like I
heard.
think part of the problem is
He doesn't feel like Sweet Tooth. He feels like a PG Sweet Tooth. That's
well,
like
yeah,
comical.
it's like I couldn't understand the tone of this trailer because like all Twisted Metal is usually very dark and like depressing. So I don't know why they're going with this like kooky comedic angle to it where it's like Sweet Tooth is pushing. I think Anthony Mackie's character's name is like John Doe or whatever. He's like pushing his face into a slot machine and he's like slowly cracking the glass of the slot machine. So he's got to be putting a lot of pressure on him. And then they start bonding over the song they're singing in the background. And I'm just like, what even the fuck is happening right now? Like,
I mean, it
I
sounds like basically he's been chasing him already for a bit, and they got off.
I
Like he says, we
guess.
got off on the wrong foot and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
I
the
think my
point is,
two
like, yeah,
my two big complaints are Will Arnett's voice is too recognizable to not just like make me
and
think
it's
of
also
Will
funny. He's
Arnett.
just doing a voiceover.
Yeah, and like he's not doing a voice or anything. Like
It's not like a. It doesn't sound like when you watch the PS3 E3 reveal trailer when they brought back Twisted Metal, which was actually the last title they made for it was PS3, which I think we're overdue for a Twisted Metal game.
yeah,
But
I didn't even really like that one that much.
you
Sadly,
hear Sweet Tooth and he's like, "It's good to be back," and it's like a deep, heavy, just like voice. Whereas this one's like, "I'm Will Arnett." Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and like Sweet
Sweet
Tooth is
Tooth.
literally he's supposed to be like an ice cream truck driver who just like went crazy and he became a serial killer
Yeah,
basically. And he's like he is an absolute human monster. And the reason why his head is on fire all the time is because they tried to execute him with the electric chair and his head caught on fire and he just didn't die. So now his head is just always burning. Like
was
so it's
his
just
head on fire in the trailer?
it was not. So that's another thing. I don't know if they're trying to
Yeah,
scrub. I don't know if they're trying to scrub all the supernatural
I
elements
think
of
they're
the
trying to
show,
scrub for budget.
which is weird because the whole point of the thing is that like the guy putting together the Twisted Metal tournament, which it doesn't seem like they're doing. It like Calypso literally just has the magic monkey paw ability to grant you any wish that you
Yeah.
have. He just twists it at the end. So it's just really like
Wasn't
it
the end of one of the games that Sweet Tooth becomes the new Calypso or something?
Oh, I know someone does. I can't remember who. I think one of them was like there was a taxi driver character that you play where like some kid literally
Or maybe
his
yeah,
dad
maybe it wasn't Sweet Tooth, but it was, so yeah.
yeah, his dad was like murdered and the kid like couldn't deal with the fact that his dad died, so he like zombified him by he basically made a remote control dad and then you play as the kid piloting the dad who's still driving the cab And at the end of the tournament, like he wishes for his dad to come back to life, and instead Calypso just like I think shoots the zombie dad in the head to destroy all the mechanics and stuff, and he's just like, "I'll be your new dad. Like you'll be my protege." And it's just like that's an interesting twist. So he does get a father figure, just not the one he wanted.
Yeah, not the God is your figure now.
Yeah,
Oh fuck. God, but yeah, so all that for that clip. I will check out the show either way.
yeah,
If I had to go through the entirety of the Halo series and then also watch 2 episodes of Velma, I think I could at least do a few episodes of Twisted Metal.
yeah.
So
It
there,
just looks like they're
you
making a
know,
Twisted Metal show without trying to make it appeal to Twisted Metal fans first.
yes, very much so. Meanwhile, Gran Turismo looks fucking great.
Yeah, I can't believe how much I want to see that
They're like
movie.
polar opposites right now. I'm like, what the fuck? But there's plenty of other PlayStation stuff in development. So it's like, not everyone's going to be a hitter.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal might be the one failure, or like at least for now, hopefully just the only failure. Unless it somehow manages to do better. Personally, all right, really fast. I think it would have been, if they're going to do like the whole this dude's delivering a package thing, it should have been, yeah, deliver this package, and on the way, without really going into the characters themselves, he just keeps running into the other playable characters, and they act fully in character, and that's it. And they trace him around a bit, and then like each episode is him getting away from that one character or something.
Honestly, that's probably
And
going to
each
be
one's
what it
like a
is.
different map that would be in the game for locations, but that's just my idea. Who knows if it's actually even like that or not. Next up, Lisfanga, the Time Shift Warrior. Not for me personally, comes out later
No.
in 2023. Immortals of Avium. It's like a very magic Doom is
Yeah, it's
described.
interesting. It's a first person shooter, but using like spells and shit instead of guns.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested.
I I wanted to go back and play all the Elder Scrolls games, so I'm okay.
Okay.
It's just, yeah, I gotta be selective. I gotta be very selective nowadays. And
Yeah, if I
it's not like that the
hear
game's bad. I just gotta like ration what I'm gonna be spending my time on at
yeah,
this
if I
point.
hear it's not too long and the story's decent, I might give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, it comes out July 20th of this year. Fortnite Chapter 4, Season 3, has Transformers. We don't really play that. I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah.
I played way back when it first came out on the Switch and I liked it for like a season and I just like dropped off and never went back.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was a surprise, and it's on 2 discs coming early 2024, which probably
I'm
means
so
February
excited.
on PS5. And yeah, anything else? Are you good on that? Do I have to say anything? I haven't. I still
Like
play the
they do
other
not need to
ones.
advertise this game to me. I will buy it because
Yeah.
I really really liked the part one. I still need to go back and finish the Yuffie DLC because like I
Oh, the
started it.
Intergrade.
Yeah, it's I they had a side thing where it's like a board game you can play. And I
Uh,
got stuck trying to do all of those before I moved on to the next thing. And the last one was like really, really
I
hard.
will not be doing those. I will
And
be going through when I finally play it. Like, I've only, like I said before, the only Final Fantasy game I've played is a little bit of 14, the current one.
mhm,
And from what everyone's told me, everyone recommends just playing the remake of 7 now before I do anything else. And I
yeah,
was
it's
going to
really
just,
good.
they have the first part out on PlayStation Plus, but it's the PS4 version. So I was told not even to play it, to
Eh,
just buy the PS5 version of it.
it's
Because just
weird.
because it looks better.
It's like the PS4 version is still worth playing, but yeah, I definitely like if you have the option, I would just get the PS5 version
Okay.
because
But
I
yeah,
feel like it's absolutely worth it, especially since I'm pretty sure the PS5 version comes with the Yuffie DLC, so you
oh,
might
if
as
it
well.
does, then I might just do that
Yeah.
then. Yeah, because yeah, if it comes with Integrate 2, then I'll try that. And if I like it enough, then yeah, I'd get Rebirth maybe on launch. I'm not too sure. And that's pretty much everything from Summer Game Fest. I guess what were 3 things that stood out to you, James?
I don't know. I don't want to be one of those people that's just like everyone was joking about how Final Fantasy's on 2 discs because that's like unheard of nowadays.
Yeah,
But it is funny.
it
I'll
is
give it
funny.
that.
I mean, they
What
literally put
else?
it on there. They literally put on just like, hey, it's on 2 discs because they knew that
Yeah.
would have been a big deal.
Uh,
I could just say really fast for me, it was probably Prince of
yeah.
Persia, Mortal Kombat, and the uh John Carpenter Toxic Commando. Those three games were probably the three standouts for me. And I think those are the three I'm probably for sure getting. So out of
I
all
think
of
the
those.
Toxic Commando is probably the most surprising for me because I
Yeah.
just like I would have never even predicted that. I don't know how I would have. Uh, I definitely was super excited to see Final Fantasy VII, like I just said. And then the one, probably Lies of P. I want to see more about that, so I definitely should get the demo just to like try it out,
Okay.
see if I actually really like it.
And I will say to Summer Game Fest did something very, very well that so far it's I would say the best showcased, not in terms of content, of like game selection, but in the content shown, which was every single thing they showed had gameplay.
Oh
Every
yeah,
single thing shown there
I
had
didn't even pick
gameplay.
up on that.
That wasn't the case at the PlayStation Showcase. That was not the case at the Xbox Showcase. So this was the only one so far, besides like maybe indie ones, that actually was just like, hey, gameplay at everything. And even though Jeff Keighley can't get like all these big ones that were at these separate showcases, I think he did the best job in terms of making sure to show you exactly what this game can do and why you should or should not be interested in it, because you actually get to see how it actually plays out, which was well done and something we always ask for all the showcases to do, because that's now like the main thing. Because usually, you'll get a cinematic, and everyone goes, "Wow!" And then it's like, what about the game?" And it's like, oh, I don't know. I didn't get to see the game. It was just the cinematic.
Yeah,
So it was cool seeing that. Which I will say, PlayStation did mostly all gameplay except for their newly announced first party games. So like
yeah, like
which
Concord and stuff like that.
Concord, Fair Games, and Marathon were like the only three that I think didn't get gameplay. Uh, that said, though, I guess how do you feel about Summer Game Fest? Did you have a good time with it? Do you feel like it was good in terms of
Uh, I think overall, I just felt it was okay. Like there
the
was,
games shown? Really?
yeah, it's just like not everything spoke to me, which is fine. It's just like it was really only like a few things that really stood out to me. And maybe that was because we'd already seen a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1 at other places. And just like not there weren't too many surprises, I guess. I was expecting there to be some like huge reveals, and a lot of it was just
I
more
was
from things that we already saw.
I was shocked there was no Death Stranding too. I guess we're not going to see it until Game
Yeah.
Awards again.
No Kojima collaboration, even though they're best friends.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He can't be at every single thing, but I'm like,
Yeah, that's fair.
if it's not here, then it'll probably be at the Game Awards again, most likely. Uh,
No, he uses one cameo to show up in the Apple event, apparently.
Everyone only gets one a quarter.
Same.
I still have to watch that video of him at the Apple event.
I literally forgot about it until just now.
So I think in terms of game catalog, it was okay for what we saw at Summer Game Fest, but in terms of just, I guess, structure, it was done very, very well.
Yeah,
And like I said, the best one in terms of structure.
yeah, I appreciated showing like demos and then like having someone from the game like Ed Boon come out to talk about it for like an extended period of time.
Or Nicolas Cage showing up and stuff like,
That was
yeah,
super funny.
the director of Alan Wake and stuff.
The guy from Marvel Snap who was extremely excited.
Yeah, that one was interesting.
Uh,
Um, yeah, overall a good time. I'd say that was probably I'd give it a I'd give it a B plus, I think.
yeah, I'd
Like I
give it
said,
a
just because of structure, it was just really well done. They can't control like all the, not every game's going to be for you, so I'd say it's B plus.
yeah, I'd give it a B. Like if it had a couple big like exciting announcements that I wasn't expecting, then I would maybe bump it up to an A. But like yeah, I agree with you. The structure was really, really good. It was entertaining to watch the whole time at the very least.
Yeah. And then the Xbox showcase. So this one is going to be games that we're not going to skip as much, I would say, because they did a lot, and this will probably be the main portion. And after this, we'll be done. But we'll talk about this. We'll talk about what's missing. We'll talk kind of like we did during the PlayStation Showcase. I actually made an Excel sheet of all the studios and kind of see what they're all doing as like a pulse check. But the Xbox Showcase exceeded expectations for me. I will say that right now. It
Yeah.
exceeded expectations.
I
I was not expecting everything that we got there. Even though it
yeah.
didn't give us everything, we got a lot. But let's
I got
just
the thing I was most excited for, which was Avowed. So
same. Yeah. Starting off though, Fable. We got an
yeah.
interesting trailer for that. Just to show more or less that it was more of a hey, we're alive trailer, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I like they didn't show any gameplay. Like
No
I like the
gameplay, no release
world.
date either.
Yeah. It's just
So
like maybe I would be more excited if I had actually played any of them thoroughly. Like I started the first one way back on the original Xbox and I just never got too far.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I wasn't excited for the trailer we got, surely for the fact that, like I said, no gameplay, no release date. There's no
Yeah.
incentive of being excited for this. It's like, hey, they showed us a trailer last time, and it's like, well, what did we get for that? Well, years later, we got actually let me hang on. I have that Excel sheet I said. So, Playground Games, July 2020 was when
It's
this game
also
was
really
revealed.
weird that Playground Games is doing this. And if
Yeah,
no one knows, they're the ones that are most known for the Forza Horizon games, which are great games, super fun. I'm not even usually that into racing games, but the fact that it's like an open world exploration racing game,
yeah.
like I really like the last one at least that I played.
I still want to play. I haven't played 5 yet, but I do plan on like that's going to be the car game I do like play.
Yeah.
So July 2020. So 3 years ago, this game was announced. We got a trailer for it, and that was it. No gameplay, no release date. 3 years later, we get a trailer for it. No gameplay or no release date. So they haven't really told us anything except we got to see a little bit more of some cinematic stuff that may or may not actually be in the game.
I
Uh,
mean, they claimed that it was in-engine game footage. So I guess we can expect the game to look that good,
hopefully,
hopefully, but
hopefully.
we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it's hard to say. So starting off, at least they showed that it's alive, which is basically no offense to it, but showing its fate. Like the Fable reveal was, it's my status of it is it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
South of Midnight. So this is interesting. On the minus side, once again, no gameplay, no
Yeah,
release
so I
date.
can't tell you even what kind of game it is. It's
Yeah,
just the tone is interesting. It's like a southern horror folklore type of thing, maybe.
the premise is very interesting. I'm already like in terms of like the theme of it, I'm very interested.
Yeah, I want to know
Uh,
more for sure.
yeah, so sorry, I just got a text. I'm like looking at my phone with the notepad and then like a text drop down of something I was not expecting to see. But yeah, South of Midnight, Compulsion Games though. This is their first game done under the Microsoft brand.
Yeah,
Just
since
because
We Happy Few.
came out, I think came out when they were already acquired, but they were already pretty much done with it. Like they were like,
Yeah,
we bought them. Game comes out in like 3 months or something. So yeah,
and
it's
it
cool
was
to
just kind of okay.
yeah. So we don't know when this is coming out. I'm gonna say Fable. Soonest you're getting it, 2025. South of Midnight, same thing, 2025
Probably a
soonest.
good bet.
Yeah, or I guess to be safe, we're gonna say 2025, 2026 for both games, which is far off. But in the case of what we got for release dates and the honest, I'm sorry, but the Microsoft track record so far, that's probably what we're gonna get.
Yeah, almost
Um,
everything that I wanted to play was like slated for 2024.
yeah. Star Wars out actually, yeah. Star Wars Outlaws from Massive
Very
Games. So
excited for
these are
this
the
one.
guys that made Division 1 and 2. They're currently coming out next with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
Interesting.
This game comes out next year. I guess the team's been split, half making Avatar, half making the Star Wars game, because they're going to come out very close to each other. But we're getting both of Massive Games at the Ubisoft Forward. So we didn't get any gameplay, which is okay, purely for the fact that this is something they do at E3. They do that where, hey, first party showcase, here's the third party game, here's the cinematic. If you want the full gameplay reveal, tune in tomorrow for the
Yeah.
publisher trailer from the
So
actual studio.
yeah, at least we
Uh,
already know that Ubisoft has a show planned, so
this is
we don't
apparently
have to
an
wait
open
long.
world game, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's all we'll say. It comes out next year. And we'll talk more in depth on it in the next in not the next episode, but this is 193. We'll talk about it in 195 when we cover the Ubisoft Forward.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. 33 Immortals, coming on Game Pass, third-party game. Gameplay shown 2024 next year. Anything about that? I've got nothing.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting that it's a 33 player co-op game.
Oh, is
I
that
couldn't,
what that? Okay, yeah. Okay.
yeah, I just couldn't tell what the point of what you're doing is, because it just seemed like a bunch of people hacking slashing enemies
Would
together.
you say it's a, well, if I already have Game Pass, I guess I could try it.
Yeah, for sure.
Type
Like
game.
that's the benefit of this showcase, I guess. Almost everything they showed, if not everything, said, available on Game Pass day and date. So like I'll give it a shot. If I hear that it's like actually really fun, I'll give it a shot, because it doesn't cost me anything more.
Payday 3.
Yeah.
Showed some gameplay, comes out September 21st of this year, also coming on Game Pass.
Mhm.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've never really
played like one game of the second one and was like, this is cool.
I've never played them. I'll play 3 if I have friends already playing it. It's not one I'm gonna actively go for, but
Yeah.
if people, it's like it's a homie game where, yeah, oh, we're all gonna play it. Do you want to join us? Okay, sure. That's gonna be how I enter this, since it's already on Game Pass anyway, and everyone
Yeah.
wants to
Like
play on
I hear
PC.
it's really good, especially if you have like a crew that you normally run with.
Yeah.
But like other than that, it's just not worth your time, I guess.
Persona 3 Reload comes out early 2024.
Yeah.
On
Very
Game Pass
interesting.
also. Yeah.
Now I guess I have no reason to play the PSP version that they put on Game Pass. I
Oh,
can
is
just
that
wait for
okay?
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just like a full remake
Do
of
you know
3.
if it's is it multi-platform, or is it, or did Microsoft purchase exclusivity for these games,
Oh
or
no,
probably
I
not?
doubt it.
Okay, so it is going to be
Yeah.
a lot of the games here, even though they're like, because I'm all right. I'm going to figure if the game says Game Pass on it, it means it's probably multi-platform if it's not first party, and
Yeah.
they're like basically going, yeah, it's third party. I mean, it's like multi-platform like the others, but if you have Game Pass,
Yeah, no,
kind of
I would be
thing.
shocked if any of the Persona games were exclusive to Xbox.
Just like Yakuza 2, right? Yakuza's still always
Yeah,
on
yeah.
PlayStation. Okay, that's what I thought. Uh then now we get into the game I've freaking waited forever for. Avowed was shown with gameplay coming next year.
Dude, some of the spells that they showed off, I was just like, it looks so cool. Like I love the part of the trailer where the person who's talking to the protagonist is just like,
Lizard Man?
yeah, the not Argonian.
Yeah.
He was just like, the truth is we're afraid of you and like the things that you can do. And I was just like, oh yeah, give me that power.
Do you so Elder Scrolls with Outer Worlds personality is what we're looking
Kinda.
at,
I
kind
mean,
of, right?
the whole time I was like, this looks like an Elder Scrolls game, but
Or
with
it
way more polish.
and more self-aware, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as cool as, Starfield probably will be, I'm sure they've made some, we'll talk about it at the end. But the
It's
point
funny
is,
that
like,
I'm like way more excited for Avowed than Starfield.
oh, I am too, completely. But that's because I've said it before, out of all the
Because
Microsoft studios
Obsidian.
now, even with Bethesda's entire developer retinue, or retain, like under Xbox retainer, Obsidian is by far my favorite
Yeah.
first party developer for Xbox.
They make like the best RPGs. It's ridiculous.
So and they give you so much choice. I love the amount of choice they give you. Like, that's why they're so freaking good. Avowed. Oh God, it's probably honestly already my number one thing from this showcase. I could say that right now. Was Avowed easily. I'm so ready for that. Sea of Thieves: The Legend of Monkey Island, coming July 20th of this year from Rare. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, I love that they keep continuing work on this game. I need to get back into it again. Just like I need to get back to Grounded, actually, speaking of Obsidian also.
Yeah, I think I played the early access of this game and was
Sea of
so
Thieves
bored by it.
is greatly improved.
That's what I keep hearing is like I still don't think I'll get back into it, but I am impressed by how much they keep like supporting this game and
It's
like
like
adding more
what
content.
it's the equivalent of like No Man's Sky, where they fixed that, where it's
Yeah,
now very sustaining and actually has like depth and content fully into it. Uh,
it also just makes a lot of sense, the crossover with Monkey Island.
I've never played the Monkey Island games, but this does make me want to play them before I even touch this. I don't know how many. I forget how many there are, but I don't know how long they are either. Because are they text adventures? Was that how they worked?
Yeah,
Or
they're like the old Sierra games where you're just like, I'll pick up this random item and I'll use it at some point somewhere in the game. I'll
I wonder,
figure it out.
you think they'd be easy to get through? And if I,
With a guide, yes.
yeah, okay, that's what I just do guide just to experience it. I'm not trying to like solve it on my own completely because
Yeah,
I'd
like
be like,
my
it's a thing where I just want to see how it goes, but also I have to remember how much time I got on my hands in order to do that at the same time.
yeah, like
But
my
I know it's
problem.
like it's a local thing too because it was made here in San Francisco, so
I
because
didn't
it's a
even know that.
Lucasfilm game. Yeah,
Yeah, my problem with those old Sierra type games is just like sometimes it's obvious what you have to do to get past like a puzzle. And other times you literally, once you get the solution, you're just like, well, how would I have ever figured that out without just like trying randomly?
yeah,
So that's the kind of thing that I'm like, I don't think it's, if you get stuck for more than like 5 or 10 minutes, I don't see it as a problem to look up what you're supposed to do.
okay. Uh, Flight Simulator 2024 coming which year? 2024. I think it's just like a 2024 update to it.
Yeah.
And then they
It's
showed
super
like the
cool that
Doom ship.
they're, well, yeah, well, not, I mean, I guess the ornithopter was cool, but I'm more impressed by like, I know you could already use Flight Simulator to log like training hours
But now fire
for
safety.
flight, and not just fire safety, but just like it seemed like basically any aerial like profession that you could try to go for, you can practice in this.
Yeah,
From like search and rescue, fire rescue, everything. It's like really cool.
it really is. And it's something like people that aren't even gamers like check that like it's such an
Like it
it's
actually
really
has real
cool.
world
Yeah,
utility.
it's really fucking awesome. Then we had Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2 with some cool
I'm
gameplay
so
because
excited for this game.
you're like, is that gameplay? And it's like, dude, everything in that game is gameplay,
Dude, I can't
whether
even
you
tell because
realize
it
it or
looked
not.
photorealistic.
Yeah. Oops, sorry, alarm went off there. Uh, I thought I turned it off.
But yeah,
Um,
I mentioned a while ago on the podcast when I played Senua's Sacrifice that like it very quickly became one of my favorite games that I've ever played. So I am like I could not be more like hyped for the second one.
mm, yeah, no, I believe it. And for me, yeah, I'm same thing. I will probably play the game again before this one comes out, or at least like when it's getting close, just to like really enjoy it. Plus, dude, I missed one collectible piece or whatever like the thing was,
Yeah.
and that stopped me from the platinum. So I'm like hell bent. I'm hell bent on Hellblade
Hmm.
to the platinum that. So I will go back right before it, and then I guess get it because is that going to be multi-platform? Or is it only on Xbox this time?
That I think it's just on Xbox now.
Okay, yeah. So I'll play it on PC probably, and go through it there. But I'm gonna play this day one. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm
Same.
greatly looking forward to it. I'd say this is probably my number two game. Second to only Avowed. That's it. And that yeah, both of those games come out next year, so I'm really excited to get those both. I'm glad they've already like there's finally like the drought for first party Xbox is kind of ending where you're
Yeah.
seeing what's coming up
Finally.
now. Yeah, and it's like just just Redfall, just put it under the put it under the bed, never show it again, and just get ready for this stuff. Then we had Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, early 2024 is when it comes out.
Yeah.
Interesting cutscene. So this was not gameplay. This was just a very comedic cutscene of sorts of a
I
naked
love
man.
that like trope of just things conveniently covering someone's like nudity.
Yeah,
It's like super funny.
it's
But
so
like yeah,
funny.
but about like a minute into that trailer, I'm just like, how the fuck has Ichiban not just like looked down?
I don't. Yeah, right. It's like
It's like, how do you not feel like, man, it's kind of drafty out here? Like,
it feels so free. And I love
uh,
it. Some of the guys are just like hanging 10 or whatever, like or
yeah,
hanging low or what. I don't know what he was saying, but it was funny. Uh, Fallout 76 Atlantic City, another expansion to that.
I
Fallout
wish I
76.
cared.
Yeah, Fallout 76 is a game. It's like maybe I'll check it out closer to the announcement of Fallout 5 in 10
See, the sad
years.
thing is, I was thinking about it. I was like, they've added a bunch of stuff to 76 like over the years. Like, maybe I should try it eventually. And I'm like, well, I never finished Fallout 4. I
You
never
never
finished
finished? Yeah,
Fallout New
that's right.
Vegas. I might
Yeah.
as well just go back and play those two
I think
games.
you should. I mean, honestly, I feel like if we wanted to do 76, we should just do it together because the whole thing is it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So if we could get like a cool little squad of people and
I
just
mean,
do
Chris would
that.
probably want to play with us too because he kind of liked it. He really likes the building stuff in that game, which is the stuff that I just don't care about.
So we'll go on adventures while he builds our base.
Exactly.
Problem solved. But yeah, fucking play New Vegas, you son of a bitch. Uh, next up, play New Vegas. Path of the Goddess, which is coming to Game Pass. No release date, and it's from Capcom. I'm wondering. It looked interesting. Just like I like the design of the
Yeah.
masks that all the characters were wearing, and like the sword and the outfits. Like it actually was pretty unique. I think we might see it at the Capcom showcase, maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like visually it looks interesting. I need to know more because I couldn't even tell exactly what kind of gameplay it was or what.
Yeah.
So interesting, but need to know more.
Forza Motorsport, of course, first party there comes out this year, October 10th, 2023. If you're a racing fan, like I said, I'm not a fan of tracks, so
Yeah,
I
I'll probably
still
skip
would.
this one.
I'll just check out Horizon 5, but they did renumber it. Like, the last one was 7 instead of going to 8. They just went and went back to the original title. Uh, Most likely also
I
due
didn't
to
even
the
catch
fact
that.
it's a 6-year gap. The last game came out 6 years ago. So
Hmm.
it's been it was like 2017. So it's been a while. I think that's why if they felt like they've revolutionized the game enough compared to like previous iterations that they were able to rebrand the number, just kind of like Mortal Kombat, I guess you would say.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah. But also, once again, just not my cup of tea.
Well, even
Uh,
Fable did the same thing. It's just called Fable.
yeah.
That's gonna drive me nuts.
But that one's its own can of worms. We've already
Yeah.
talked about Fable. Elder Scrolls Online and Necrom Shadow of Morrowind, another MMO
Another
expansion.
MMO I don't have time to play.
Yeah, comes out June 20th. Overwatch 2 comes to Game
I
Pass
was so confused by this because
August
like,
10th, because isn't it free?
well, but they
I
also
guess,
specifically talked about like story missions and stuff, and I'm like, wait, but they just canceled the co-op mode. So what is this that they're advertising? I'm
hmm,
very confused.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, did you not know this?
I don't play Overwatch.
Oh yeah, like so the whole point of Overwatch 2 initially was that like, hey, you love the PvP, but people keep complaining or saying that they wish that there was more story in Overwatch
Yeah.
besides just like the character like interactions and stuff. So Overwatch 2 was going to have a full PvE co-op campaign with like a bunch of like branching skill trees for every character, like a lot of customization and stuff, and like more than half a year after the launch of the PvP part of the game, they're just like, yeah, we couldn't get it to work the way we said we were gonna do it like 2 years ago, so we're just gonna cancel PvE entirely. They're saying that there will still be some story missions brought to the game, but not anywhere close to like the amount of work that went
Hmm.
into that was like the branching skill trees and all that shit. So I don't know. It's weird. I am still somewhat avoiding Activision Blizzard or specifically Blizzard stuff just because moral reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm getting like this close to just breaking down and getting Diablo because literally everyone like daily is like, "Have you gotten Diablo yet? Have you gotten Diablo? What class are you gonna play?" And I'm just like, I do want to play it a little bit.
I I might but there's too much, there's still I'm gonna get
I'm still
Jedi
chipping
Survivor
away at
first.
Zelda, and there's like so many other things that I
Yeah,
haven't played.
I Diablo 4 is not going anywhere. Also,
Yeah.
I don't think that game's
Well,
gonna
the
be.
seasons are. You're gonna miss the seasonal content. It's a service now, didn't you hear?
Let me think. My conscience says I can live with that. Yeah.
But what about the $28 skins though?
Is that what the
They got some
fuck?
like egregious skin
You made
like
me now
prices in
want
the
to play the
store.
game. I don't want to play the game. Even less now.
Yeah.
I don't care. I care less about this game now that you said that.
You don't want to buy horse armor for your mount?
I feel like I'm all right. Next game. Persona 5 Tactica coming out November 17th.
I'm
Also
actually
showed
really hyped for
gameplay coming to
this.
Game Pass.
Like I loved Persona 5. It looks like this is like a new story with the same characters somehow, and it becoming a tactics game.
Yeah,
Very interesting because that's I think a first for the Persona series.
really.
Yeah, like they've had like dancing games or
So are
rhythm
you telling
games.
me that Square Enix is watching this with their Final Fantasy Tactics that's non-existent anymore and going, fuck?
It's so weird because dude, people still love the Final Fantasy Tactics games. They could absolutely make more.
No, I know. I mean, Final Fantasy, Mega Man all did the like different offshoots that they could all keep like working on and doing and having all these like different versions, but they don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's also because Square Enix also sold off all their Eidos stuff, and now they're like, you know what? Maybe we should like, even though we just sold off all this stuff, we should like buy all this stuff now. And I'm like, actually, wait, this is me. Never mind. I've like done that before, where I've been like, I just got rid of all this stuff. No way, dude. Yeah. What are you
Now I
gonna do?
have room for more stuff.
I bought more stuff, but it's like, no, you're an idiot. And I'm like, I know I am. I know I am.
It's like I'll
Yeah.
get rid of 2 shirts and I'll buy 5 more.
I don't buy shirts for sure. That's one thing I try not to do because I have too many shirts. I have guys, you have no idea how many shirts I have. Maybe one day I'll do a TikTok video on. No, it's too many shirts to do a video on. Jasant. Uh, that was
Is that
at
the
first
climbing game?
I thought it was called Just Ant, and then I kept realizing I was imagining a T. But yeah, fall 2023, also on Game Pass. There was gameplay for it. Nothing from me personally on that one.
Yeah,
Anything
what
from
was
you?
it? It was by Dotnod.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I wasn't interested.
Still Wakes the Deep, early 2024 Game Pass. This
Yeah, I don't like I
was
don't
probably the
remember
most
this one.
interesting third-party game. That was like the one where it shows an oil rig, I think, and you go in, it's like horror. So I was like, oh, we're doing some horror, but like underwater. That's what I live for.
Yeah,
Hell
that's a
yes.
great setting for
And it's on
horror.
Game Pass. Sold because
Yeah.
I don't have to pay anything. So it's
Yeah.
already sold. Woo! But yeah, I'll definitely play this on PC when I get the chance. If it comes out and I'm like, if it's one of those games that comes out and it's like short and I'm not like too balls deep in some big ass game, like I'll definitely try to do that day one if I can, just to at least be like, hey, I got a small game out of the way. Woo! Dungeons, and that's early 2024. So, there's a bit of time. Dungeons of Hinterberg coming 2024, also on Game Pass.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that I just it it looks like it could be fun, but I probably will never get around to it.
It wasn't for me. Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty comes September 26th. You had Keanu Reeves on stage
Yeah.
this time, and he was like, I know you're watching this, Idris Elba, and I look forward to being in the same game as you and stuff. That was funny.
Yeah. It makes me want to go back and restart my game on that. Like it's one of the first games I started playing on PC, and I was like, damn, this is actually pretty cool. And then something distracted me and I never got back to it.
It
So
only reminded me that I still haven't even opened my game.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's the thing where I've missed it's not the new game anymore. So I'm like, keep
Yeah.
up with current new games. Once done, go play Cyberpunk. Oh wait, no, that's
Yeah,
Stranding.
eventually
Yeah,
maybe.
so they're God, it's fucking too many games. But I don't know how long it's gonna take me to finally get to it. I don't know when it's gonna be. I will for sure, especially since I bought it, play Cyberpunk 2077. That I can at least guarantee. I mean, Witcher 3, I played like 5 years after it came out. So, I wouldn't be shocked if I do the same thing with this, if I'll be honest. Cities Skylines 2 comes out October 24th, 2023, also on Game Pass.
Looks cool. I mean, the
Yeah,
whole time I thought it was another SimCity game, and I was like, "Oh yeah, City Skyline exists."
yeah. It's not my kind of thing, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people like that kind of stuff.
same.
Metaphor Refantasio from Atlas, guys that made
I hate the
Persona.
name, but I'm very interested that
It
it's
sounds like Italian Fantasia.
yeah. I
Uh,
just don't understand why it's called like Metaphor Refantasio,
yeah. Refantasio.
but specifically why it starts with metaphor. But like, I'm a little bit
It
excited for this.
instead of Persona, you instead now have Pestona.
But
Yeah, I do
yeah,
love
this
those.
is
Yeah.
I'm a little bit excited for this just because like I'll admit I never played the Shin Megami Tensei games, which is like the other flavor of Persona. But
Persona.
yeah,
I just
but
want to say
like
that.
I am interested in this one because it's like a third RPG
Yeah.
by this team. So super cool.
Sorry, I'm looking up a studio because I just realized something that confused me. Uh, but continuing on, Towerborn. So this is what confused me a bit. The game itself, I'm not really interested in.
Yeah.
Uh, but this was saying Xbox Game Studios presents, which means it is either first or second party. It's published by Xbox, and comes out 2024. Gameplay was shown for it, but it's done by Stoic Game
Yeah, the
Studios.
makers of Banner Saga apparently.
Yeah, and I don't believe they're owned by Microsoft, which means that this is a second party game, a very rare but existent second party game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pretty
guess
cool,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna play it, but it's cool. You hear a
Yeah,
second
no,
party
like
thing.
I like the setup for the world was kind of interesting, but the as soon as they showed it's like a side scroller like hack and slash, I've
We're already
never
getting
been
Prince of
that into
Persia.
those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably skip this one.
Um, Clockwork Revolution from In
This one
Exile.
got me super excited.
So just like Compulsion, this is the first official like under Microsoft branch fully developed In Exile game. Their last game was Wasteland 3. This coming in fucking due time. So once again,
Yeah.
no, was there gameplay for this? There wasn't, right? It was just I was
Uh,
confused.
I assumed that a lot of it was
So
gameplay.
there was gameplay. Okay. So
Yeah.
at least we got gameplay, no release date, but we got at least gameplay. It is very interesting. I kept thinking of freaking BioShock Infinite,
That was exactly the tone I got with
especially with the
like a
rebellious
Steam.
shit. I was like, oh, the Vox Populi
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, also the fact that it was like a very steampunk like setting
Yeah.
and like Infinite it's like it didn't lean that much into it except for like the handyman was like very like clockworky
Mhm.
Big Daddy type
I
character.
still love my Songbird statue from the collector's edition, though. That thing is
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
That too. The Songbird was a very steampunk look. So it was like light steampunk. This one seems to be going a little bit more into it. And instead of dealing with like dimension hopping, it seems like you're dealing with time travel.
Yeah.
And just like I am so into it, like especially if you get to if it's like maybe you'll go like just for story reasons go back in time and then like change something and come back and notice things are wrong or whatever. But I like the idea that maybe you're like actively choosing what to change and then coming back and seeing how it's affected the world. And if that's how it goes, I am very excited. Like I love time travel type stuff if it's
I
done really
hate time
well.
travel
And
type
that
stuff.
yeah, so that's probably why I'm like really psyched about this.
I'll try it probably for sure. I mean, like I like In Exile. And if you guys haven't played their games, like they've done the Bard's Tale franchise and the Wasteland franchise, which was
Mm,
like the proto Fallout.
yeah,
So I would definitely suggest checking them out, considering this game has no release date, so you guys have plenty of time. This is
yeah.
once again, if no release date, 2025, 2026 release for sure. Uh, I doubt 2024. Like they could, but I
Yeah,
hold net
I
when it comes to all the games for, like I said, for under Xbox. Like it's always no, not after like the
yeah,
last time we got all the reveals and then we didn't see them for literal years.
yeah. With the amount of detail like being put into the worlds, and the fact that they didn't even bother to give like a release window yet, I'm not expecting to see it again anytime soon. It's
It's a
just
new
like,
IP also. Like
yeah, it
the
just looks
last two,
cool.
Bard's Tale and Wasteland, have like 3 or 4 entries each.
Yeah, I knew the
So
name In Exile sounded familiar, but I forgot that they did the Bard's Tale games, which is very different.
yeah. Then we've got the final thing we got was a reveal of the Xbox Series S, but in black and 1 TB at the same price as before of 350, coming September 1st.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, I think it looks cool that it's in all black. I did not like the original Series S look. Just the fact that it had like a black vent on the top, but the rest of it was white made it look like a speaker or like a hot plate or something.
It
So it
did.
all being yeah, so it all being one color makes it look much cooler. And yeah, just giving it a terabyte of storage instead of 500 gigs, which realistically you don't get all of that anyway, because some of it is taken up by the operating system. Like the 500 gigs with today's games was like almost nothing.
Yeah.
So giving you like almost a terabyte to work with, much better. That and for 350 bucks, that is a very good like deal for a brand new Xbox. Like as long as you don't care about 4K gaming, the Series S with a terabyte of storage is a great deal.
Yeah. Otherwise, finally, Starfield. We've got a full thing, so that comes September 6th. The biggest thing I got from it were 2 things, well, I guess 3 things. We saw that compared to last year's gameplay, this one looks a lot more crisp. It honestly looks night and day better, I won't lie, in terms
Yeah.
of visuals.
I was not impressed at all by the last time we saw it, and I was like getting worried about it, honestly.
Yeah. This time it looks so much better, but also I don't know what settings you have to get the game to look like
Yeah,
that on your
because
PC.
right after the show, I guess IGN got to do like an interview with Todd Howard, and they mentioned that it's going to be locked at 30 frames per second. It'll be 4K on the Series X, but it'll be 1440p on the Series S. I think on PC you could do unlocked frame rate, and he claimed that they were getting like up to 60 frames a lot of the time. It's just for console specifically, they wanted to focus on the fidelity of making it look really pretty. So I don't know.
Which usually everyone wants the opposite, but also
Yeah, so I don't know
for
why they would
Bethesda,
do
everyone's like, can't
that.
you do both? And it's like, it's been over 10 years since Skyrim, and we still can't do both because fucking Bethesda, just
Yeah.
like always.
So
It,
I'll probably be playing this on PC. And yeah, I'm very, very interested to see what the system requirements are.
yeah, I guess it hasn't been 10 years since I keep forgetting Fallout 4 came out in 2015. So it's been, sorry, 8 years.
Yeah.
That's much better.
They
Yeah.
made Fallout 76 in the meantime. Does that not count? uh,
Anyway,
shaking your head.
Do you remember the stupid fucking bag for the collector's edition?
Dude, like everything around the launch of that game was so much more entertaining than the launch of that game itself.
I know.
It's so sad.
But the gameplay looked really cool. They like the combat for melee for shooting. Honestly, they looked great.
I just
Uh,
like there seems to be a lot of like customization of your
yeah,
character, your ship.
customization, settlement building,
Yeah.
factions that are there. I'm hoping so. This is my biggest thing that I want, and it's what Obsidian does. I want them to give us good choice because Fallout 4 had really shitty
Hmm.
choice. It was straight up just going, "Would you like to go left or right?" And I'm like, "Well, can I just fucking?" And they're like, "Well, there's also like the left, and the right." And I'm like, "Well, can I like alter any of that within it?" No, man, that's not much of a choice. Then that's just like
Yeah.
fucking pick your tunnel instead of
And
like being able to build your tunnel.
and at least for Starfield, they showed off like a bunch of factions already, at least a handful of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I can tell. Like it seems like I'm not as worried about the over 1,000 planets. Uh,
Yeah.
I do feel better now, so I'm not like worried necessarily about the game. I'm just kind of like looking forward to it, but I'm not hyped at the level as I was when I played Skyrim and Fallout 4, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
it's weird because like I should be super excited, but like I haven't seen anything that really strikes me as like new about this game. It's just bigger.
Other games have
Very,
come out.
very
It's,
big.
you know, other developers have made other games that are much more astonishing in gameplay and looks.
Yeah.
And you know, Bethesda kind of is still trying to do the same thing it always has done. But their issue has always been, even though they're like a freaking monster of like content and everything else, they always do that like one step forward, two steps back thing where each new entry they might put something new in, but then like something that made a previous entry really cool, they'll just take those out. And it's like, wait,
Yeah.
no, these were like key to making these really cool. Why'd you remove these? But um we'll see how this goes. Uh I don't know if I want to just do the PC Game Pass or if I'm like, do I want to oh wait, no, I wanted mods. That's right. I'm gonna buy this for sure. I just don't know if I'm gonna buy the Steelbook or if I want to do the digital version. I'll get it on PC either way, but at the same time, there's no point of having a disc for PC. So I guess
Yeah.
like I'll just get the expensive digital version on Steam. Unless I don't do you want the watch? I kind of want the
Not
watch,
really.
but I also don't want to get burned like last time. We talked about it a little bit. They did the Pip Boy gauntlet for Fallout 4, and I bought it, and I got it, and I looked at it, and it was a cheap piece of shit plastic. It was really
Yeah.
fucking whatever. And then once phones evolved, it was completely useless. This though is like a watch.
And maybe I misunderstood them, but it sounded like it's kind of a smartwatch too. Like they
Yeah,
said
you
it
can
could
connect it to
display
your phone and
notifications
everything.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So like it looks cool. I like that it looks just like the one in the game. Like it'd be really interesting if it actually does display like local atmospheric conditions where you are. Like it's always going to say
I
like basically one atmosphere, but like
I think I know why I want it. I'm having FOMO of not getting the Metal Gear Solid watch.
hmm.
That's
So the
probably
problem is
why.
like I already wear a smartwatch all the time, so
I
I'm not
don't
going to
have a
put like a
watch.
second one on.
I don't. Yeah, I have no watch, which might be
Uh,
why I'm more interested.
and I'm probably not going to replace my Apple Watch with the Starfield watch,
Maybe I
but
should just get an Apple
uh,
Watch. I don't know yet.
also the fact that it's like three
Three
hundred
hundred
dollars
dollars.
is a
Yeah.
little bit much, especially since I really already want to get that Spider-Man collector's edition that's like
Yeah,
$230, which
yeah.
is
For you, it
already
makes
more than
more
I
sense to
want.
get the Spider-Man one. For me, I don't have a. I'm gonna have to look more into it. Uh,
You
it
know what's
could sell out
funny?
before then. If it does, oh well. I'll just get an Apple Watch eventually instead.
Yeah.
But
You know what's funny? I'm
yeah.
actually slightly more interested in the box than the watch because they
Mm.
got me with the locking mechanism
Oh
where
yeah, the
they
box was so dope. That's
show it like it has like the a pull down thing and then you twist it and then like the two like hydraulics on the side kind of like twist with it and it just I was like, oh, that does look fucking cool. I'll give
yeah.
him that.
Got it. Yeah. So I kind of want. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I
Yeah.
also would need
I
more money
also would
than I have
just
right now anyway. So
I would
I don't
hate
have like that
spending
expendable money.
$300. I
Yeah.
would just hate spending $300 on this and it ends up being a buggy mess that I just am just like, I hate it. Why? So I
You
that's
get
the
it,
other
and
thing.
it's the
I
same quality. Like the box and the watch are the same quality from like Fallout 4. I would literally be
yeah.
like, "You got me a second time. You fucking got." I would be so angry. I would be like, "God damn you, Todd!
I think
God
that's
damn
the
you!"
I think that's maybe one of the other reasons why I am not getting really hyped yet because I don't believe that it's going to run as well as they want it to.
Hmm.
But we'll see. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I would love to be proved wrong for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. And the lighting for the game, I like their explanation of how the lighting in the game works because
That
that made
was
it look really beautiful.
that was actually one of the coolest things was that they said every solar system they really wanted to focus on the realism of like the lighting. So every solar system has real-time global illumination based off of which star it is like the what kind of star there is, where you are in the solar system, like how what side of the planet you're on at the time, and what kind of atmosphere the planet has will affect how the sky looks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Very cool. I really liked that they're trying to focus on making a realistic what feels like a galaxy. Like it's I mean if it wasn't actually the whole galaxy, it'd be a lot bigger than 1,000 planets.
yeah,
But it does look like it's gonna feel like a huge like chunk of the galaxy to go around. Like I even like that they make it really easy to tell what planets have life on them and which ones are barren, but you could just like go to for resources. And it even like you scan the planet and it tells you like what resources you would find in what parts of the planet so you know
Mhm.
where to land.
Yeah.
So very nice.
Okay. Um. Oh. Oh my God! I forgot the fucking. You know what got me? The fan. The fucking
Oh, the
Oblivion
one who runs up
fan.
to you and he's just like, "Oh my God,
As
oh,
I
you're the
live and breathe,
guy."
you're the champion. Yeah, that dude. He has the pointy ass fucking hair in Oblivion, and he falls. It aged like fine
Oh, do you think
wine.
that's what they were referencing? Was the
That was
guy?
exact. No, you didn't realize. Yeah, that was literally they took the
I
fan.
literally forgot about that.
So when you play Oblivion, when you do the arena, the fighting arena, when you become the champion of the arena, you have this little pointy haired guy that's like, it's you as I live and breathe, and he like becomes your fan. He like gives you random shit, follows you around everywhere. He could be a travel companion, and like when you tell him to leave, he's like, fine, I guess I'll go and just spend my time worshiping you from afar, some shit. And like there's a great video of someone doing it on a mountain with him, and he goes and runs off and falls off the mountain.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucking good. But yeah, no, they made that dude in Starfield. I immediately, when I saw him, I was like, it's you! You're back! The last time I saw you was like fucking 2008 or some shit. So yeah, I got so excited seeing that stupid little fucker. Oh my god, I can't believe they put that bastard in it. It's gonna be great. That did sell me. I was like, oh, the fan is in it? Okay, I'm in. That's so dumb. I love it. But that is everything for the showcase. Before we get into the missing things and other stuff, how would you rate this showcase and what were probably your top picks from it, your top three?
Man, I don't know if I'm just like again recency bias, but I just like I enjoyed watching this entire showcase. Like maybe some of the indies I skimmed over a little bit, but like I honestly might give this showcase an A+ because just like
Really?
well,
That's
yeah, the things they showed off, I was excited about pretty much everything, like except for maybe the ones that I want to know more about, like Fable, where I'm like,
that's why I'm like I can't give it an A+ for multiple
yeah, like
reasons.
that's why I'm like, I definitely it's a safe A,
Okay.
possibly an A+ because I was just really surprised by like last year I was like, you got nothing for me, and I don't know, I'm not excited, like. But this one, I was just like, damn, everything they showed, I want to play. Like even Starfield, I'm not as hot on it as other people seem to be, but it's absolutely still a must play for me.
Yeah. For me, it's an A-. Not if it was an A+, I would be wowed the whole time, or I'd be like watching every single part the whole time, and there'd be gameplay for every single thing. That's what I
That's
would warrant
fair.
an A+. And that also keeps it away from an A as well. So I'd say an A- for me. They really did a great job, but it did, a bunch didn't have gameplay. If they did, then this would be having a higher grade. If there was more like complete full consistency of me going, oh shit, then it would get an A+ on top of that. So A- for me.
Yeah. So I guess
Um,
my top ones from the show, Avowed is probably number one. Senua's Sacrifice or Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is my second one. Man, it's really hard to say because I really am really
we
looking
have like the
forward
same one
to,
and two then. Yeah. Mine is also
yeah.
number one, Avowed, number two, Hellblade,
And
or
then
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
my third, man, I kind of want to say Persona 5 Tactica just because I was like really not expecting that and it's super interesting to me. I just am not super into the chibi art style. So,
Mm,
but other than that, maybe either Starfield or what was the other, the Star Wars Outlaws game. The only problem for Star Wars Outlaws is like it
yeah.
looks really cool tonally. I'm gonna need to see gameplay at the Ubisoft thing before I actually say it's one of my
Mine
top three.
my number three is Starfield. I won't give a game my top three if it doesn't have gameplay, or at
That's
least I
fair.
shouldn't. So
Yeah. I think that's why I'm like, I kind of want to say I'm
otherwise, I
really
would have
excited for the
said
Star Wars thing, but I don't want to say that yet.
if I didn't, I would have probably thrown in like South of Midnight. But there's literally nothing to go off of that game.
Same.
So, yeah, that's everything for it. Then just wanted to post. So like I went through, we finally got a bunch of games like we saw them come back more or less for better or for worse. Because like I said, some were just like there's no actual like
Yeah,
result
Fable
of the
is still
return.
alive.
Yeah, Fable doesn't give us anything, but like Fable, we saw that finally again. Avowed, we saw again. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, we saw again. And we already knew Forza was coming out, and we had new announcements and whatnot. But it's only like half of what was announced that we still haven't gotten.
Yeah.
We're still missing Everwild from Rare, Perfect Dark from the Initiative. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2, which I don't expect us to.
I wasn't expecting to see that.
I'm not expecting us to see
time.
anything, but also you announced it, so now we're going to expect it.
That's the thing. I was shocked they even announced it the last time because that
exactly
the first one had just come out.
Yeah, that's why I don't. If you're making a game and we're focusing on that first game, don't announce the second game because now everyone's going to also wonder
don't do
about
what
the second
Nintendo
game.
did with Metroid.
Don't do what
don't just be like Metroid Prime 4 coming eventually. Oh shit, we need to restart. It's coming even more eventually.
Yeah. So Indiana Jones from Machine Games. State of Decay 3 from Undead Labs.
That one I am actually a little bit surprised we didn't see any about that.
Yeah. And of course, it's your fault, you guys. Elder Scrolls 6.
I literally, at this point, I have forgotten about Halo.
Elder Scrolls 6 from Bethesda Game Studios. Thanks for announcing it. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting any.
I know, I wasn't expecting that either. But the ones we were really, the four was really Everwild, Perfect Dark, Indiana Jones, and State of Decay 3 are the four that are kind of like
so the ones that have been announced that we've known about.
But... And yeah, they're still like they're the next things up from those developers. And then still no announcements from Halo Infinite Story because Halo, I think 343 is just in hell mode right now.
They're in crisis.
Yeah, they're in crisis town. Gears 6, surprisingly enough, no announcement for that of like it being told. I think we'll get an announcement next year for an eventual like 2025 release or something. Even though it's been like years since the last game, we'll talk about it soon. And then Wolfenstein 3, even though they're making the Indiana Jones game also, we know that they're making the third.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that one either.
Yeah. But just to go through this, guys, like I said, I made a full-on like Excel sheet for all the studios. Just to go through real fast. We already know Turn 10. And this is the order of studios they made and then acquired. So Turn 10, we know Forza Motorsport's coming this October. 343 hell time. Sorry.
Maybe season 4.
Coalition. Their last game was Gears Tactics, which came out April 20th of 2020.
Another game I started on PC and liked and didn't.
Another game I never played that I still need to.
It's good. It's just like it takes so long to get through each mission.
The point being, though, I believe Gears 5 came out like 2019 or 2018. So it's been quite some time.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on with Gears 6. Initiative is, Perfect Dark is their first game, announced December of 2020. So it's been almost 3 full years now and still, and that's when they were announced. The studio was built way before that. So it's been like...
It's just since then, all we've heard is just like endless issues with that game.
World's Edge kind of oversees Age of Empires, so we already know they're still developing stuff for 2, 3, and 4, which 4 came out recently. Rare's game Everwild was announced in 2019, so it has been 4 years since it was announced. We don't know what's going on with it.
Weird. I thought it was longer ago.
No, it's been, but yeah, 4 years is still a long ass time. Battletoads came out in 2020, which was their last game they fully like kind of did and finished, and Sea Thieves has been perpetually in development because they still make new things. Mojang, they just released Minecraft Legends this past April, so nothing new from them probably for a while. If anything, they'll do a DLC for that.
Don't they have another Minecraft game coming out?
They already did Minecraft Dungeons, if that's the one you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
That came out
I was combining
a while ago also. That was like 2020, but
I guess I thought Legends was Dungeons. I forgot.
No, yeah. Compulsion Games, South of Midnight, like I said, it just announced today. We Happy Few is their last game that came out in October 10th of 2018. And Exile, Clockwork announced today. Wasteland 3 came out August 18th of 2020. Hellblade 2 announced back in December of 2019, which was in development probably much longer than that. Their last game was Bleeding Edge, which was March 2024.
I forgot about that.
March 24th, 2020. Yeah, I completely forgot about that too. But they're not only working on the second Hellblade game, they're also working on another game called Project Mara, whatever that is.
Oh, that sounds slightly familiar.
Yeah. I mean, there was just an announcement of like, hey, there's that thing. Obsidian, we have Avowed, which was announced back in 2020, July. And then their last game was Pentiment, which was really small, but that came out this past November. And they also have Outer Worlds 2 in development. Playground Labs, last game was Forza Horizon 5, which was announced in November, or which came out November 9th, 2021. Fable was announced back in July 2020, so it has been 3 years. Not just announcement. Once again, all these announced dates, they were developed much longer before that. Undead Labs, State of Decay 2 came out in May 5th or May 22nd of 2018. State of Decay 3 was announced in July of 2021. So it's been 2 years since that was last shown. Double Fine just came out with, never mind, they did not. Psychonauts 2 came out in August 25th of 2021, so we don't know what their next game is. Bethesda, we know Starfield, and then they also have Fallout 76 Atlantic City coming out this year probably, and then Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. Alpha Dog Games, they just came out with the Mighty Doom mobile game. Didn't
Oh yeah,
didn't know
no one
this
likes
existed.
it.
March 21st came out of this year. Their next game, who knows? Arcane, no future games in sight probably until Redfall is probably fixed, which just came out
I don't know if
early
you
May.
can fix it.
Yeah. id Software, their last game was Quake Champions, which I forgot existed. Came out in 2022 of August,
I don't
apparently.
think I've ever heard anyone talk about that game.
There were 2 Quake games, apparently, yeah. And then, like, who knows what I don't think that's been their main thing. So whatever they've been mainly developing is still a mystery, since, like, Doom Eternal was really their last big main thing. That came out in 2020. Machine Games, Indiana Jones, we know. Their last game was Quake Dimension of the Machine, which was, I guess, like a VR game or something. That came out in 2021 of August as well. But Indiana Jones was announced 2 years ago as well, nearly. So we don't know what's going on with that. Roundhouse is a studio that Bethesda created and Microsoft purchased. So there's still nothing from them yet. We don't know what this is a studio that hasn't made anything, and we don't know what they're working on. Tango just did Hi-Fi Rush, came out in January. Who knows what their next game is? And ZeniMax Online.
It's been rumored that they're working on another
Evil
Beyond. What was the
Evil Within?
Evil Within? Yeah, that's the one.
Probably Evil Within 3, I'd assume. And then ZeniMax, I'll probably put that in. But ZeniMax Online Studios, perpetually Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ones that we need to hear about next from are, Coalition, Initiative, Rare. What was the next one?
I guess 3 for 3.
Undead Labs, maybe Double Fine, and id, and Machine Games. Yeah, so like all those ones. But I think we're good. I think that's everything. We can probably go ahead and close out here. Right. I hope you guys enjoyed our kind of thoughts going through all this stuff, but this is probably our main news one compared to, like, PlayStation. I guess it'd be like a news trilogy, huh, James? Because it's like the first one was like PlayStation and streamers. This is Summer Game Fest and Xbox, and then the third one will be Capcom, Ubisoft, and I don't think there's anything else after that, really.
No, Nintendo's like, yeah, we just like put out the best Zelda game maybe ever, so we're good.
Yeah, they're raking in money from that in the Mario movie. They're fine.
Yeah.
So that has been Sutro Sidetalk. If you guys want to send us any questions, comments, or feedback, you can at sutrosidetalk@gmail.com. And you can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Sutro Sidetalk, all one word. I'm figuring out new ways to do some stuff. So besides some clips we'll do from recent episodes, I think for TikTok, I know I keep saying it, but like this week for sure, you're going to get the ones from our Halo episode just because I already made them. Otherwise, I'll be putting out, probably the next ones will be from the PlayStation Showcase episode. So the last episode, and then followed by this episode, just because news goes fast. So I want those in and out and done. And then we'll go probably back to maybe like late last year or something like that. It won't be too far back, just because I'm skipping ahead to more recent, more relevant topics to cut from a near recent episodes and stuff. Also, I might try something new where in the TikTok videos, I will be kind of saying something about maybe something we're going to talk about in the coming week, and just see if you guys want to give your thoughts on it. So then I'll say like, oh, Spider-Man was blah, blah, blah. What was your favorite Spider-Man? And how'd you feel about like Miles versus Miguel, and like how their ideas were for like the concept of what the movie was happening, like what's going on in the movie, without spoiling it until that episode. So more, I guess, like engaging, interactive TikTok videos if I can. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, like on whatever platform you're listening to. If it's YouTube, give it a like. If you can't subscribe on whatever platform you are listening or watching on, and if it's Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review. If it's Spotify, please rate us. And you could find James at InvaderJim124 on Twitter, and you could find me at GoGoComzilla on Twitter. Once again, next week, or this coming episode, so this is coming out Monday or Tuesday. On Friday will be 194. That episode will cover Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, as well as Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Sorry. And 175 the week after will be the Capcom Showcase and Ubisoft Forward, along with maybe a Cut of Steel episode on the movie The Flash. But that is everything. Until next time, guys. So long.
Thanks for listening.